that low-level anxiety is killing you. If you are a high achiever and you have this low-grade anxiety, it's impacting other arenas of your life. Welcome back to another episode of the Coherent Collective podcast. I'm your host, Joanna Rosenthal. And something that really strikes me silly, I don't even know if that's definitely not the right term. Something that really strikes me, catches my attention, let's put it that way, is people who are high achievers who cannot turn off, who do not know how to shut that side of them down. And I'm talking about this in business, right? There is this mentality out there that exists. It's not everybody, but if this sounds like you, stick around, where you're constantly checking your emails with this low grade anxiety. It just, if you aren't doing it, the anxiety almost worsens because business runs at a rapid pace and it is a rat race. And if it's not going to be you that's going to do it in a timely manner, someone else will. It's the sensation of inner competitiveness because let's face it, there are other people out there that could potentially do things faster than you. Or, it's just something that you're used to because that's what helped you build your name. But let me tell you, that low-level anxiety is killing you. If you are a high achiever and you have this low-grade anxiety because everything you're doing is it needs to get done in a timely manner for work, it's impacting other arenas of your life, one way, shape, or form. But let's rewind a little bit because that has to do with nervous system regulation. And there's so many buzzwords out there about what nervous system regulation is. And often I hear this and it's coinciding with the same sort of thing as like spiritual bypassing, meaning that people use tools to temporarily offset and distract themselves from the root at hand. Because, for example, you wake up, you journal, you write down your dreams, you brain dump everything. That's going to help, right? But then you're going to get right back into the need of like to do. And that need to do doesn't allow you to sit there and actually process and move through what needs to get out of the body in order to, or rebalanced within the body. That low level anxiety matched with doing all of the right things on paper serves a purpose. And sometimes we need discomfort within ourselves to make changes. Actually, oftentimes, change happens because of something that is painful to a degree, right? Painful to a degree could be the anxiety. It could be like seeing people on a grand scale get hurt. That is pain. And new decisions always arise from a point of that. So the question beyond this, it's interesting, a bee is here and a bee works. But what I find interesting about a bee, how they work, when I looked this up symbolically like a year ago, is they love. I wonder if the bee will go on camera. I don't know if you caught that. The bee was literally like on camera for a split second. But what a bee does when they work is that it's like almost like their life's work. It's a flow state. And other people will come, let me rewind a little bit. They work by going from flower to flower, exchanging pollen, and then they go home and then they create this beautiful honeycomb and it is geometrically perfect. And then we get to enjoy the fruits of their labor through looking at the beauty of the honeycomb and the flavor of the honey itself, right? So the point in this message, I think, is that other people can't even truly enjoy the fruit of your labor if you are working from this state of like low level anxiety. Bees don't think about what they're doing. They just become what they are. and then they create as a result of that becoming. Bearing that in mind, the tools of the modern day nervous system regulation are, ice baths and, you know, g- ice baths and breath work and journaling and working out and you name it. But if you feel like you have to tick these things off for the sake of having done it, and then you notice that it helps, but immediately, or not necessarily immediately, but shortly thereafter, you bounce back into that state of low level anxiety, newsflash, it's not working the way it could be. These are all tools to hack a system that at the root is not fully fleshed out. When was the last time you played? When was the last time you laughed? When was the last time you created from that like young toddler version of yourself? Think back to that time in your life when you would be outside in the playground or in your backyard or wherever you were, and you would just go down the slide because it was fun for you. Or you would go and you would just meet new people because they were also there. You might not ever see these people again, but that concept of connection and that impulse state, because you don't think much about it, but you know that it's fun to play with new friends or go down the slide because that's what you wanted to do and you got something out of that. What about when you sat down and you painted? You took some you took some paintbrushes, you had a little piece of paper, and you started painting colors all over. You didn't care what the outcome looked like, but you knew that there was going to be an outcome of a finished product. The joy was in mixing all those colors together and creating something. So, ticking all the things off on the to-do list or journaling and writing down your dreams and wishes serves a purpose. It creates clarity. There's also discipline in doing things like that regularly, and we need discipline in order to execute on things. But often, if that's the sole mentality, we lose track of the journey that can allow us to get there in a place or even greater place of that destination. For example, if you want to be someone who is the leader of a community, I'm throwing this out there. Sometimes you have to hit that low point or just know that you're going to be posting. And from that point of discomfort or something, you call in the people who are also experiencing that sort of loneliness, right? But you're calling them in without much thought and you're just appreciating whoever ends up showing up. But you show up every day and you post every day and you're doing it because you got nothing left to lose. It's pretty cool. At least your voice is getting out there. So when it comes to achieving those desires, there's that element of structure and discipline that is absolutely required, no doubt about it. But if you find yourself constantly burning out because of that, something isn't right. Yes, life is hard. Yes, it presents challenges. And yes, you have to show up sometimes when you don't necessarily want to. But if you're not having fun and enjoying the process along the way, there is a misalignment. And that boils down to you not allowing yourself to play or connect with new people or expose yourself to new environments. It's scary to do those things because somehow along the journey of life, we've gotten disconnected from that inner play, that inner child. But that's what it's really there for. And only you and those mental blocks are in the way of making those new decisions. So I hope that you start making new decisions for yourself and to impact the people positively around you. Whether they take it or not, at least you sow a seed by doing something new and different. So I will see you next time.